This video is going to show you how to remote desktop from a Mac machine to a running Kali Linux Docker or Podman image. The video is not going to cover actually building the image. There is a Docker file out here that has everything and all the stuff. So if you have Docker or Podman installed, you just have to download my repo, and there's instructions how to do that on the README. But this is something I put together. One thing to call out is I still don't do any persistence of the running environment, so I've just included some basic links and stuff, what I did, how to run it. I do run it on 3390. You can run it on 3389, which is the typical RDP port. Here's some other reference documentation, and a big help to AI, helped me with some of the syntax and stuff. But here's some screenshots of me on my local machine, and here's this actually built the image, and here's a screenshot of it. So part of this is to just show you the various options I did. I have, for the environment I have running, I'm running on a MacBook. The MacBook locally has Podman that was installed via Brew, and I built the image, so Kali-RDP, and it's running right now on 3390. And I left this, I didn't run it in the background because I wanted to show you that the spin up. I also have VMware Fusion installed on my MacBook because I do like to do VMs, and I do have some other tutorials on how to build VMs via Vagrant that are in my repo as well. So just to show you that I do have, here's an Ubuntu server. I also have a Kali VM. So just to get going, as far as a big thanks to, I didn't even know this was possible when I was building out my VM, Ubuntu VM, for some offensive security. I ran across Wrong Secrets, and this is an OWASP project that does a variety of pen testing and other things you can do, and they showed how to build a VM that actually you could RDP into. So from a classroom perspective, instead of having to set up a computer or set up a virtual machine, you can run everything inside of a container, which was, I've always wanted to do that, and I spent some time to learn how to do that. So here's the instructions for the Podman installation. So I'm just showing you this here. I used Brew, as I mentioned, but here's the Docker engine for Ubuntu. Ubuntu's the generic distribution I'll use for that, but go back to the two things that are running here. So the only other thing that you have to install is the Windows app. I like to call it Remote Desktop, so that's what's been called forever, but this is the app that you can run locally within a Mac. It's in the App Store. So if you happen to notice here, 127001, so if I click on that and I type in, it's going to ask you for verification. So I'll type in Kali user, Kali is the user ID. So we'll click here. So this is running, it's going into the container, and this is the image. So if I come back to here, notice that there's some text that has happened through here. So I've got it running and I've connected, but nothing's happened in my Ubuntu system. So we'll go back to the Windows app, and we'll click, let's disconnect from here, and we'll go ahead and connect to the Ubuntu server. So that's 127.16.33.220, 3390. So this is a NAT version, so I'm using the Fusion has a NAT provider, so I'm just using the local one. So I'll click there, and of course the demo. Did I get the right IP address? I always like to show issues in the video. Why would it be a good video if it didn't have some troubleshooting? So let's go to ifconfig. It is 172, so let's do stat-ant listen grep listen. So I do have a listener there, so let's just make sure that let's do sudo systemctl. I can type ctl stop ufw. We'll stop that. I did run into that, so let's go back to Windows app and click on PC Connect. So 127.3390. It's not a firewall issue, so let's do this. So let's go back to SSH, and we will stop this. can. Okay, so we'll restart it. We'll see it's already in use. So I like showing the troubleshooting because it helps. I mean, this is, when I watch stuff, it's seamless. The troubleshooting is really something in let's do netstat -ant. Okay, so let's do sudo docker ps. So we'll do sudo docker stop the container. Give it a minute to stop. So we'll start it. So there's a listener on 3390. So let's go ahead and go back to Windows app. It's here. 7216.133.220. Yep. Let's see, what else would we do? Let's try this. Let's try 3389. So let's do Windows app. Oops. Connections. Let's just do this here. Let's do. Let's go ahead and stop it on. Let's do some troubleshooting here. So let's do netcat -v 172.16.133.220 3389. Huh. So it can't even talk to the server. Let's just make sure that the machine's on NAT. Yep, it's on NAT. Ping google.com. So it can talk out. Ping 172.16.133.1. So what would be the, So I can ping both ways. It starts on 3390. So let's do netcat -v 16.133.20 nothing there. Nothing there. Sudo, let's reboot the server. Welcome to IT, or figuring stuff out. So I guess we could call this running Podman and Docker Kali Linux troubleshooting. So the local demo worked. So let's go back to here and SSH to it. Okay, so clear ham. So do sudo docker images. Oops. Run -p. I like 3390. Do Kali-RDP. Okay, so let's open up. Let's go back to here. Let's see if. Okay, so took a reboot. So let's do this. Do 3390. Get connect. Type in Kali. So it took a reboot. So hopefully you a little frustrating, but that's part of when you do home labs. And when I'm talking to students and other individuals that are looking to get into IT, this is exactly why you do stuff at home. Is and I watch videos and troubleshooting in different areas. Hopefully this is something that you can find useful. if you have good feedback, like, hey, thank you for being real in the video, give a thumbs up or put a comment, or should I not include the stumbling and the ums and everything, because that's kind of the reality of it. So, but I've been doing this a while, but hopefully you found this video useful. I do plan on advancing this here to add some persistence, because in my VMs and other things with Kali, I do download GitHub and other things. So, and historically containers are ephemeral, so when you're done with it, they go away. So having that data that you put on there in a specific location is something that I need to do. So hopefully you found this useful. If you have any questions or comments, like below. Take care.